2 times the normal salary.
Whoa, don't go spending all that money, man. 2 times 0 is 0. Everything over 0 is too much. All right, rocks here.
Yeah, I was double dipping on when I was on tax assessment appeals, so
Yeah.
money was good now.
Recognition and glory on this commission.
Don't worry, I'm leaving it all for my kids.
All right. The applicant was nice enough to go out there, stake everything out for us. Okay. Everyone wants to come around. I'll give you a quick little tour. All right. So you're parked down here on the Anthony Drive. There's a cul-de-sac. Corporate Avenue is here, and we're parked right over here. Okay. Probably the best way to come in here is to walk in right over by these stakes here. We can walk in. You'll see they have marked the level or limit of clearing. It'd be a stake with an LOC on it. Okay. I walked down here this morning just to make sure everything was looking good here. So the level. So this is all marked out. We've got some dumpster marked out. I think it says DUM or something like that for the dumpster. All right. So this whole level, this whole limit of clearing is marked all the way down, including the infiltrator out to here, and then back up. The building corner 1 and building corner 1, these 2 corners are located as well, and these are as well here. Okay, so our main focus here is to look at this vernal pool, or sorry, whoops, not a vernal pool. They looked at it for a vernal pool, but this whole this
water course.
Yep. This the depression, and then this wetland. Okay. So, and then there's a swale that connects from the edge of the road from here over there.
How far is here to here again?
You guys are doing 100 here, I think it is.
No,
Sorry, 50.
50.
It's 100 feet here. It's 100.
Yep.
It's 50 to the limit of clearing, and then it's an additional
Yeah,
20 to the
I got the
building.
plans in there, so I think it's 100. I think it's 100 from this to the edge of clearing here.
Correct. Yep.
And I think it's 50, as we said over there.
Yep. And then I have 11 by 17 for everybody, just in case
Oh,
they
you
need
do? Oh,
it.
perfect. Good.
Thank you.
You're the-
How much elevation change is going to be required to get this in?
I don't think there's much. It's
all
pretty
mountain
flat.
grade
It's
and
all
it's pretty
flat.
flat.
Yeah, it's all pretty flat right in there. It's all flat right in there.
Thank you. Stealing from Look at that. Pretty just enough.
I'll take one for the file. After you're done, I'll just need one for the file, all right? After you guys, I got my big one here. I have a tape measure in the car, but I don't think we need it, right? You don't need a tape measure for anything, all right?
I do have a 12-foot tape just in case. But
Or like this.
All right. Are we good? Everyone kind of gets it on? And then, so that's that back building. These 2 buildings will be on the frontage side of Executive Drive over there. But I think the intention, based on the grading, is to clear curb, and along the whole clearing. So from here down and then to the clearing limit that way. Is that correct?
Yep.
Awesome. All right. Perfect. Follow along as I said, we're going to go in on the corporate Ave side. Okay.
Good. You want to go this or?
Oh, go right here.
Thanks.
and the trees are just markers for the surveyors.
Oh,
Get there.
okay, I was wondering why there's two on it.
If I can ask you a question, so he said the limit of clearing is the pink stakes.
Yep, most of those.
So
Not
so
everyone.
so it's that direction which will be cleared, not this way, or
Yes, that way. This is the back of the building, so this is the wetland over here.
okay, thank you.
Explain this to them. This is that depression.
Yeah, I'll wait for everybody's here now. Good. All right, so this is the fresh water course. Obviously, as you can see, we've got staying leaves in here, so this has water during the spring months, wetter part of the year, anywhere from 18 to probably 24 inches in water depth. Obviously, as we get into leaf on and our summer months, obviously that water evaporates, gets sucked up by the trees around here and or infiltrates through the underlying sand and gravel that you have under here. So not a lot of vegetation in terms of wetland veg around it, other than some red maples around its perimeter. Like I said, we did do some investigations in here during our June visits. We did find green frogs in here, which is somewhat interesting, probably coming from the pond across the way, because green frogs need 2 years to actually metamorphosis from egg to juvenile. And obviously this pool dries up just about every year, so they probably never actually get out of here. We did find one wood frog tadpole in this pool as well. One lone one after about two hours of dip netting in this, which indicates likely low population of wood frogs in here, and also they get predated on by green frog larvae. That's one of their prime meals. So probably the reason why we don't have a large population of wood frogs in here, just from the historic disturbance that's been here. As we talked about at the meeting, this site was once cleared in the 90s completely. Everything you see here, all the trees were not here. Sand and gravel was excavated out of here. Probably this was a sand and gravel pit of some sort right here. And as such, this has just rebounded over the course of the last 30 so years of being an early successional forest. So that's the long and gist of this area. I will say, as I said in the meeting, is that we're maintaining the watershed entirely around this, so the contributing watershed that contributes to the hydrology of this is not being altered by the proposed project. So if you look at the topographic map and you go out to that 100-foot line, basically, that is the actual watershed that contributes to this. So we're not affecting that in any way based on the current plan that's before you. And the stakes are up yonder for a limit of clearing. So basically from this blue line, you're 100 feet.
I was thinking maybe the best thing would be to cross over.
Yep.
See
And then
that
walk that
wetland,
line.
and then we can come back and walk that limit up.
I mean, I remember in the meeting you guys discussed that there was a natural berm that wouldn't be touched,
Yeah.
so that
Yeah, it's
the
over
water
that way.
goes
Well,
over this way.
there's various, so there's this berm that's actually right here. This is establishing this area, and then there's that berm actually continues as you go, will be paved south. And go
Yeah,
down.
we're gonna walk that.
Yeah, we'll walk that whole part.
So this is the one that's not disturbed.
Yeah, this we're keeping 100 feet
This
out.
one's 100 feet.
Yeah.
So that like this peak here and
Yep.
the peak there, and
Those
then
will remain.
the low point is like go in between here.
The low point is right here.
Right in there.
Then this berm continues all the way
Yeah.
down this property here.
Yep.
And we're not doing anything in here whatsoever.
So this berm that you're seeing right here.
Is what we're looking at right
Right
there.
there.
We're
Right behind
Yeah,
this.
right.
Of course. And then, as I said before, you'll see a lot of this silt fence.
Very indicative of.
Yeah, I showed everyone those pictures from the 20.
Okay,
was it
perfect.
29 at the meeting, the 29
Yeah.
to 90. You could see how
Oh,
this
yeah.
is pretty much disturbed all the way over, and you can tell by the
H
age of the trees too.
Yeah.
So
That's the swell. Do you want to look at the
Yeah,
ditch?
yeah.
All right, all right. Look at the ditch right there.
I want to see this one.
Yeah, so this
To understand the difference.
Yeah, this is drainage ditch. Right up this side. Yeah.
Are they gonna clean this up or just leave it as is?
No, so we can get everybody in here. But I have the exact same question.
I didn't know if the debris is causing things like that.
Probably is. Most likely. I think we got everybody.
All right, so what we're looking at is another man-made feature, obviously, trapezoidal channel excavated drainage ditch. What we think, if you look back in the 90 aerials, there was a sand and gravel operation on the face of the north side of Corporate Avenue. We think at some point that pond connected or had an overflow towards this before they actually put in the actual outlet structure to that pond, which now goes and discharges towards Scott Swamp Brook, way the heck over there. And they must abandon this because obviously there's no pipe that goes across the road anymore. And it's, the soils in here are all sand and gravel, they're not hydric. Where we start to see hydric soils is further down in the actual drainage ditch itself, and in that area that's what we actually called wetland, where our next wetland starts. Nothing's planned for the drainage ditch in this area, and
this is on the property still, right?
yes, it's still on the property, yeah.
The property line is just on the other side
Yep.
somewhere.
So we could probably just head south right through here, and then we can turn out and take a look at the berm later. Okay.
We're right in this whale part here, and this is where it opens up where
How
it's
do you
very
know
flat.
where the channel before that? I mean, it could have been, the course could have been changed. Or, the shape of the channel, but you don't know that there wasn't a channel here.
No, I don't, unless we go back and look at all the historical aerials, which I have not looked at everything from 1934 on, which I think in 1934, I don't believe it shows any channels through here. But again, maybe in the 1800s, 1700s, how far back you go. All I'll just say is as you look today, right, and that's what we need to look at, present conditions, you can tell that this is the material that probably came out of the channels, was probably level right across this. And by the age class, no signs of flow in this, right? So there's been nothing current coming through here. So I, as a soil scientist, when I look at this, have to call it man-made drainage ditch by definition.
Your flag ended right there. Pink flag there.
That's the wetland flag right there.
Is that a wetland flag too?
Yeah, I think, no, that one's not. That's probably just drainage ditch on it.
Proper, okay. So your wetland ended right at that flag up straight ahead.
Yeah, right about here. You're going to see there's a difference here from the color of the leaves. A little wetter in here. Dark shading of some of the leaves in here. So this is our first wetland flag. And you see there's change, right? The leaves up there are very brown, light brown in color. We start to get here, we know that in the spring you get water that sits here. You start to see the darker same leaves, similar to what we saw in that depressional feature. So that's evidence that we have water that stays here longer. And so from here south, this becomes our wetland system on the southwest side of the property. And again, we're not doing anything.
Watch out, there's a
Just notice
Widowmaker right there, so don't shake that tree, Dave.
Look at it, it's rocking too.
Yeah, I see it right there.
Did not notice that.
So, any questions here?
So then, Do you think this drained that way or it drained this
Yeah,
way?
you can see it pitches that way.
Okay.
Yeah, so we think that pond originally, some point, probably 80s, 70s, 60s, all that time, probably wasn't overflowing, probably came this way.
Came this way.
That was a sand, as we said, that was a sand and gravel
Sand and gravel
operation.
operation.
And that's what they dug out, and I think when they hit the groundwater, they kept going, probably. And then, and to keep that water down, they just opened this up and let it flow. That's the best I can come up with. That's not, it's not a definitive, but based on the aerial photos, that's what it looked like.
I think it's logical.
And then after the road got put in, the outlet, I showed you guys on the plan, I can show you again, but the outlet control structure, the pond was added and the water's piped that way away. So, it all gets to the same place. It goes back to the Scott Swamp Brook. It just goes in a different direction.
So the only thing I would, as we're walking, is just be cognizant of is the building that's next to us, the development next to us. That's actually in closer proximity than what's being proposed on this project. So just keep that in mind as we're walking along this wetland.
So it should be about perpendicular. So this berm,
Right there.
so you can see it's kind of turning this way. And then over there, the building, there should be a stake in the ground that shows what the building is. And then you can see, this is that berm that we're
And is the 100 feet to the parking area or to the excavation or to the building?
So from that, it was 100 feet to the clearing limit. And then
Okay.
as you get over here, it's 50 feet to the clearing limit. So limited grading / where we're going to be clearing trees.
So, and that does that mean that nothing within that range essentially gets touched during construction?
Correct.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. Except for obviously we have that one outlet structure that has to come all the way down.
Got it. Okay.
So you'll see that as we get to the clearing limit. There's
Yeah.
going to be a level spread.
Okay. Thanks.
So, Mr. Chairman, this was one of the questions that you had at the last meeting as to why the wetlands kind of flared out. So right where you were standing, the wetlands start to flare out towards that other building. So you're to your right. So that's what's depicted on your plan. So they go from that narrow channel out and they flare to a much wider wetland system. And we're looking at that wider wetland system right now.
Okay.
So your building is a little bit further than that. In that direction.
I'm sorry.
Your building is a little bit further away
It's
than
further,
that.
yeah, correct.
In that
In that direction, correct. Again, just notice the evidence of where at one time clearing had occurred on this. You can see the silt fence on the ground. So all this vegetation here was. So, all right, let's continue on. Any other questions, sir?
Is it easier to pop up top, or do we want to follow the wetland?
Yeah, when you come up, it's going to be kind of a deer run here.
Watch out.
rock when it comes over. This is rough frontage. This is a limit of clearing, so no, it can't be a building corner. The building's gotta be back there. So this must be, this might have been one of their pins that they set to actually.
Yeah, that's the control point.
That's the control point, yeah. So this is limit of clearing. And we'll let everybody get over here and we'll talk about the earthen berm. Here that remains. So one of the things at the meeting that was presented was that we were maintaining an artificial berm. It's not natural. That was obviously made probably again in the 90s. This is that berm that separates nicely that wetland from the development side of things. All the trees that are here remain. Acts as I think a great barrier from the development. The pink that you see here is the limit of clearing behind the closest unit. But again, that building is much further back than where we're standing right now. And this berm runs all the way, basically where we started up by the depressional feature, runs clear across all the way down to the south of the property line.
This was where the underground sedimentation basin is going to go?
Correct.
And this is here for the drainage from it?
Yeah, we'll take a look at that.
There's an outlet control structure that goes to a level spreader down here. We can take a look at that.
That's staked out. Any questions here? So one of the questions you asked was grading. We're pretty much dead flat through here. I mean, there's going to be some minor, obviously, adjustments, but nothing significant.
Look at your map. Top left portion of that's the building corner there. So that's the top left. So that's this corner right there.
Right?
Yep, right there. Yeah, right in there. So that's that one right there. And I think he's got the dumps. I think he's got the parking lot marked out here, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. And those are the test pits that they did. You could tell off the type of the material here.
Very stable. Obviously, you have a little pad for your building, but in order to maintain positive drainage towards the drainage system, you have to have
Parking and a dumpster right there. Dumpster right there.
That should probably be the other dumpster.
Corner parking and dump. Yeah, dumpster location right here.
Yep.
Groundwater was 6
That's the orientation.
feet. Something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it on the plan when we go back.
And the folks want to know what that owl is. That's a barred owl. So it's one of our common owls that like white pines. And there's plenty of them in this area.
That's
Sad.
It's not just me, I thought.
9 feet.
Thank you. It's okay. So I was gonna say.
It's upside down. Oh my god. Oh, I got my first eye exam in my entire life in 2 weeks. I'm so nervous to wear glasses. It's getting bad. It's getting real bad.
There is no. You have to add. You're like, I got 1 + 1. You're like, glasses.
I was just told my vision is actually free.
Really?
And I'm now not using glasses.
I got no hair. I'm like, I don't have anything going for me.
If you get a thick rim, you hire
Yeah, so what happens is, pipe comes down this way, underground, and then there's a little spreader that goes across that slope.
This tree will be gone.
Oh yeah, this tree's gone, all these little trees, and this big tree here will be gone.
How about this berm?
How we doing?
So the berm will be reestablished. It's just pipe and correct. And what we're doing with the level spreader is we're actually keying it into the slope. That way there's going to be like a small gap in the concrete structure to allow water to go through. That way we minimize, one, the look and feel, and two, how much water is actually getting out of it. Because you want to be, as part of our charge for, stormwater requirements, we have peak flow retention. So we want to make sure that we're not, one, eroding the slope, and two, controlling as best we can. And it's easier maintenance.
Oh, okay. And we've been using that system, or not we, but
Oh yeah.
that system's been used in town quite a handful of times so far.
Yep.
So
Actually, better in the details of the
yeah,
plan?
yeah. All it is an underground. It's like a septic system galley
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
with a bunch of holes in it, and those holes are exposed, so the water comes in, fills up, and it just kind of like spreads out.
Yeah. And actually, if we want to take a look, there's the town outfall.
Yep, this one's over here.
as well.
Yep, I got that one
Third
too.
end section. It's not. Let's just say there's a tree growing through it.
Yeah.
So you didn't hear anything from me?
Right by that
Tree with the pink ribbon on it. That's it right there.
That's coming from the street.
Yeah, correct.
What about this area here?
We're open.
Maybe. I don't know. Somewhere in there. That tree was small when that was installed, right? It's not kidding.
He likes it, man.
So when that water comes out of that outfall, where does it run from this area? Does it, because it sort of slopes up here, does it run out that way? Is that?
So the watershed itself, everything that's going through here, obviously is just gonna, it's a wetland, so it's gonna stay wet. It'll absorb what it can, but I believe that everything channelizes eventually downstream this way.
Okay.
It goes towards Scott Swamp,
Yep.
Okay.
which eventually goes into the Quabbin.
Correct.
Yeah, got it. Thanks.
Everybody's good? You can walk. I think probably the best thing would be to walk this limit of clearing all the way back to our car.
Okay.
To the car. And that way you can kind of gauge, look over there to Executive Drive, kind of understand where the clearing is versus where the wetland is. Walk this green line here.
exception of stormwater pipe. Right where you guys stand in there. That is, I think it's a parking lot. Is that a parking lot corner?
Probably cheap construction. Easy for them. They win every time. Housing law for it. Yeah, gotta go. Oh, right now it's 10%, and Farmington is within the I think over that limit, so we don't have to I think they were trying to get 20%. I think Ned Vermont.
As we head back to Corporate Ave, that is again, that's that same building corner
Okay.
I showed you before. So this building goes from there, as we go down, you'll see the next one.
And that's it,
That's the limit of clearing on the left.
Parking lot, dumpster,
Building corner,
right
dumpster,
there, here you
parking
go,
lot.
yeah. See these two right here. Parking lot, dumpster, underground infiltration system, in there, in that area there. Well, I mean, more or less everything, I'm assuming everything is in this clearing area this way. Right? Like I said, it's all. All right, let's go. Walk our way back. No. All that stuff is buried in my scouting. The building? No, the building's pretty big, so I think it's one of these. You'll see it's up in here a little bit.
Where is the building from here? Do you see the building stakes?
You saw the one corner back there.
Yeah.
When they
So it's a
finally
little bit
get
further
me
maybe
down
down
from the
next
building and make it.
It's a pretty big building.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe get some mud stuff down there. There's a safety reason like that. I don't think. I think they have to come in once a week. Yeah, I don't think they come in even once a week anymore. I think that was a compromise to get them to do anything.
I think that might be where he's standing.
Got it. It's pretty close to the limit of clearing.
Yeah, you think about restaurants down there, how, you know, working.
Yeah, this one's a little bit closer than the other one.
Yeah.
Oh, on plan view, I don't remember. I got everything written down. Here's the other building corner for anyone want to know.
What's LCC and then this one up here?
LOC is the
Limit of clearing.
all the way down.
Okay.
So this will follow us. This will follow us all the way out to the Corporate Ave. Right where we were. Because that's where we walked in that area and then we took a right and went right down into that depression area.
So what is this one then?
That's the same thing, all the way down. Those are those sticks are the control points for the surveyors.
Yep. Driver.
So if we just
And then
follow
you're
this out-
redoing the berm as well, a little bit?
No, our intention is not to touch it really.
Okay.
So
limit
clearing
just means
is
clearing vegetation.
Yeah.
Doesn't necessarily mean grading.
Correct. You know, because we are going to install a couple trees to kind of fill in some gaps. It's all on the layout landscaping plan.
Type of stuff, or just do
This
the
stays.
vine-
The
the
vines
vine.
would stay, this is grapevine.